Welcome, everybody, to the next edition of our Connected Spirit, Connected Biz New Year's gift event spotlights.
It's
Today
a long name.
I know. I trip over it every time I say it. I'm like, why did you choose that? Today I have with me Jan Revell, and we're just gonna have a nice little chit chat about what you've going on, because you're dabbling into some new stuff. Well, not new, but additional stuff.
Yeah.
So for those that aren't familiar with you, how did you get into the work that you're doing? How is it transitioning this year? Because you have wonderful stories and we want to hear them.
Well, I'm right now I'm setting up for my new intuition membership site. And the thing is that, you and I have been around long enough that, well, never mind that. It's just that when you're young and you're intuitive and you use your intuition and you don't see any way around it, you just use your intuition all the time. And then you sort of think that everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, people say, "Oh, you're so psychic." And I would get really insulted.
Insulted?
Insulted. I would say, "I am not psychic. Intuitive, yes, but I am not psychic."
How dare you call me that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
But in any case, and so over the years, I've worked with people, particularly in business, as a business coach, using my intuition, helping them use their intuition to improve their business and to get along better in their business.
Yeah.
So in these days, I've decided that I'd rather work with people who are, people who are in business, who want to, let me see if I can back up here and untwist my tongue. I want to, my membership program is going to have 3 levels. Mm-hmm. One is going to be for people who are really just learning about intuition. They've heard about it or they've used it. They don't really know a lot about it, but they want to learn more and they want to learn how to use it. Is it worth anything? What can they do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second one is for people who already use intuition and use it quite intentionally. Mm-hmm. But they want to go further. They don't quite know where they want to go, and particularly in their business, can it take them to another level in their business?
Yeah.
And then the third level is those people who are quite intuitive, and people are saying to them, "Oh, you're so psychic."
Right.
And if they have a reaction like I did, so which is the next natural step as you develop your intuition, that it turns into what we call psychic.
Right.
And I'm reading a book by Yuval Noah Harari, who's an Israeli historian. Mm-hmm. And he has these books out called Sapien, and it's the history of humankind.
Right.
And one of the things that I read recently, like today or yesterday, was something about intuition. And that intuition is, we tend to think of it as kind of this woo-woo, as this touchy-feely thing, all to do with feelings. And he maintains, and people can take offense with this, he maintains that it's calculation. And when he explained it, I thought he's absolutely right, because when you use your intuition and something comes up and you follow your intuition, it really is calculation on a bunch of things. Like, for instance, when you're driving down the street and you decide to go left instead of right. Mm-hmm. And you end up missing an accident or whatever, right. and you say, thank you. but you claim that your intuition took you that way, but you've driven that way enough times, that route, enough times that you know the traffic pattern and you know kind of what's going to happen. And you're doing this split-second calculation in your head of how things are going. And yes, I do believe that intuition has that subconscious
Oh, yeah.
part of it. So you end up going left because that's where you
That's
were
the nudge. Yeah.
told, yeah, to go. So it's real interesting reading this and deciding whether I can reconcile the two or not, how it works together. So in any
Yeah.
case, it kind of went off track there a little bit.
No, that's our, and that's okay. And that's a perfect example because I had something like that, exactly like that happen driving in Florida. Same thing. We were probably 2 blocks from the house, came up to the intersection, the light, and my husband was with me, but I was driving. And we came up to the light, it was green, and I stopped. And as he turned to me and said, "Why are you stopping?" Somebody ran their light in front of us. And it would have been a total T-bone, just, and we were both like, "Whoa."
Yeah,
Like,
right.
"Thank you.
Right.
That was cool."
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, I always call them nudges because it's so subtle that if you're not, if you don't make the decision to try and pay attention to these things, right? It's so easy
Yeah.
to just like override it and then
Yeah.
regret that you overrid it.
Yeah. Yeah. I still,
But
one of my favorite things, exercises for people when they're first starting to use their intuition is about driving.
mhm,
It's the whole parking lot situation, and where is my perfect parking spot? And you just
yep,
sort of tool along and wait for the nudge. And then
mhm,
you look down that row and you go, what are you talking about? It's totally jam full. There's no space down there. You go that way. And I always argue with it. So it takes 3 times before I finally go that way. And then right at the very beginning of the row, there's either
somebody
somebody
backs out in front of you and you're good.
Yep. Or
Yep.
they just have backed up, whatever, but there's always that spot. And my
Yeah.
friend Mike in Florida would get to the point where he would just be so disgusted because, God, I should have known it was going to happen.
Yep.
But that's the one that I think is so simple, and yet it reinforces. If you do it over and over
Yeah.
again, it reinforces what you're doing, and it also reinforces your ability to trust in your
Yeah.
own intuition.
Yeah. And
So,
that is the key to it all. I mean, that's the hard
right.
part,
Yeah.
really, is just getting the rest of your brain to shut up and get
Right.
out of the way,
Oh, mine
But
doesn't. It argues.
oh yeah. Mhm.
But
So,
anyway,
so your membership sounds really cool. How, and that's coming soon-ish?
soon, yeah.
Okay,
As
awesome.
soon as I can talk you into finishing that membership site for me,
Oh,
then it'll be
we
ready.
got you handled. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. In the meantime, I'm just suggesting that people go to the Healers Who Launch Facebook page, and
Okay, good.
that way they can follow along and
So if they go to Facebook and type in healers who launch, right? Who, not
Healers
that
Who
one.
Launch.
Who launch, they'll find you.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
they should.
Is that
Yeah.
the best way for them to connect with you if they're wanting to?
Well, they can also email me at jan@healerswholaunch.com.
Beautiful. All right. So now tell us about the little gift that you're giving away for people too, because it ties in with all of what we're talking about, especially since we're heading into the new year.
It does. It's a 90-day goals planner. And in particular, I mean, we tend to think of our goals for a business. So kind of in particular, it's that, but it's just for 90 days. So, we can all go 90 days, 3 months, and it doesn't feel like you don't have to plan 5 years in advance or even a year in advance.
Right.
It's just 90 days in advance of what you want to accomplish and what are the steps you need to take to accomplish, and being able to keep track of what you set out to do and where you are with it along the path.
Mhm. Do you
I
have any
mean-
like little tips that, so if somebody downloads it, what would be your biggest, best tip on how to sit down and do that? If they want to like use their intuition to do it. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Uh-huh. Well, I think that the first thing would be figure out the 3 things that you'd like to accomplish. Just pick 3. Doesn't matter even what they are, just 3. 1 that you maybe really, really want to accomplish, and 2 that are not quite as
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
And then, well, there's the old automatic writing thing of just put your pencil down and let it rip.
Let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, and see what comes up. But you need to keep your pencil on the paper or pen or whatever. And that's hard for those of us who are keyboardists, you know, that it's hard to, and yet I've done it with the keyboard as well, where you just start typing and you don't stop until you end up stopping. But and the other thing would be, I mean, this is all adjuncts to the intuition, but doing the whole pendulum, you know, whether you take a needle or a paper clip, or if you actually have a pendulum and you put it over whatever
You're thinking of you're wanting to
task,
do.
yeah, goal that you're thinking of, and just then even saying, well, is this something that I really want to do, or something I can do, or I've written down 5 steps that I need to take. Which one is the most important? And letting the pendulum, and of course, the thing is to make sure that you're not actually
Waving it
moving
around. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Awesome.
otherwise, it's doing the closing your eyes and or even another thing I love to do is ask you a question about yourself. You know, what is the goal and what would be the first step? And then if you listen to the radio, or you turn on television, or you're watching a movie, or you're going to the grocery store and you're getting back of somebody who's got a t-shirt on that says something, there's going to be all kinds of, so many ways
Yeah.
that the universe is going to give you an answer.
Yeah.
So it's intuition, it's the universe, but it's also making sure that you pay attention.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got to pay attention.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. Those are all, you know, every single thing you said are things that I do, you know, that we do, that I've told other people, you know, it's love it. So thanks for hopping on and chatting. This was fun. And I think, you know, anybody that wherever you're watching the video, if you're catching this on the YouTube channel, the link below that's in the description is going to be where you can hop on and get her free gift, and just keep track of what's going on and when the membership is going to be ready. If you're watching this as part of the giveaway event, it'll be, you know, the link will be right there for you to use. So thanks so much for being on and chatting with us again.
Well, thank you. And just know that I am really, really excited about finally doing this membership. It's going to be
I know, and
so
I'm really
fun.
excited for you to be doing this membership, because it needs to be done. It just, there's people that need it, and you need to teach it, and that's how it is.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next spotlight. Thanks again for hanging out with me for a few minutes, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
And thank you too. Bye.